So do celebrate the women around you and say thank you for all they've done for you. You all have moms. It's a nice way to say thank you, mom. Today, for that reason, we are writing our giving a shout out to the women that has inspired you in the past. So do let us know. I see a lot of moms here. I'm gonna say hello to the people I see in the call. I see Mukesh, Shamin, Atik, Sandeep, Abby, Livia, Jason, Irvin, Robert, Angel, Fernando, Tunde, Eduardo. I also see Lucy, Jonathan, who is always helping us, Joel, and I think that's all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being with us. The first shout out goes to all the women reps that are in this call or not in this call. Thank you all for being amazing and for being an amazing reps and for helping us being diverse and helping the gentlemen and Bill. Just super. And the second one is welcome to the new review team. And in case you don't know, we have a new review team. You can check the blog post and you can also see the discourse topic and say thank you and congratulations. They're going to be the people who are going to be the final decision makers for your budget requests. So have some fun. Whoever has joined, please mute. Thank you very much. And without further delay, I'm going to give the floor to Señorita Abby, who has joined us from the Toronto office. We have a lot of Toronto office today. Hello, Abby. Welcome to the Reps Call.
Oh, there you go. There we go. Hello, everyone. I'm just going to try to share my screen. Hold on a minute. Which one do I want? This one. It worked! All right, everyone. The Global Sprint is coming, May 10th and 11th. It's this year. So my name is Abby. I work on the Open Leadership and Events team at the Mozilla Foundation. And we're the team that brings you MozFest and the Global Sprint and many other things. So we just want to engage people throughout the year. And the Global Sprint is one of our big events. So it's a 2-day hackathon around the world. What's kind of fun is it starts around 9 a.m. in Australia, and then it just goes around the world twice, and then ends on the 11th at the end of the day on like the Pacific coast. You don't actually have to hack for 50 hours. You just go from 9 to 5 in your time zone, because of the magic of time zones. It's like 50 hours of continuous work on these projects all around the world. So to give you an idea of some of the projects, all right, yes, it's changing. Here are a few of the featured projects we had last year, and the projects range from, I didn't know that would change if I did that. Okay, the projects range from some really intense like software projects, Lab.js is pretty technical, to some, someone was building a board game for privacy and security. I don't know if you remember that with Guillermo last year. No, it was Geraldo last year, yeah. So there's a lot of different things you can build. This one was fun, the Method podcast. That was an open source podcast. So people are contributing by calling in to a number and then leaving a voicemail. And then she would take that and then turn it into a podcast that went out later. So there's all sorts of different types of open projects that are happening. We had over 100 projects last round. And here are some pictures. Australia always has a cake. I'm always very jealous. We never have a cake in Toronto. But you can see people from all these different sites. And we do have a video link, so you can see it a bit in this square down here, where all of the different sites around the world are being connected by a video link if they have a good enough internet connection. So it's really exciting. We had about 65 sites last year. We're expecting about 80 to 100 this year. And I'd love to see all your faces and all your projects involved. So this is the website. It's also linked in the Etherpad. But there are a few ways you can get involved. If you have space to host people, we'd love for you to host a site. You just need internet, maybe some coffee to give out. Then you can invite your friends and your community to come and just work on all the cool projects that are happening at the Sprint. If you have a project or a project idea that you want people to contribute to, you can submit your project to the Sprint and it will show up on the site. And people from around the world will send you contributions. Or you can just come to the Global Sprint, either join a site, or you can join remotely from home and just join online and contribite to projects. So yeah, all these projects are aligned to our internet health issues. So they're all working towards a healthy internet. So that was my spiel. I don't know if I can stop sharing, and I'll see if you have any questions. It's tricky to share things when I'm also in a big meeting room. Figured it out. How many projects have already been submitted? I can check right now. We have, 14 projects have been submitted already. I did not know that. I'm supposed to be like keeping track of them and wrangling them. I've been a little slow, but I'd love to see your projects there. Oh, there's some repeats from last year. Very exciting. Yeah, let's see what the other questions were. I lost the Etherpad. Oh, 14, not 40. We still have, that would be amazing. Actually, I'd be very overwhelmed if there are 40 projects submitted and we don't even open for a week. We're at 14. We had 100 last year. I'll expect people will submit as we get closer to the date. Is there any map we can check projects around us? Oh, that is a very good idea. So we will have a map for the sites around you, so you can go to a local site. We never put projects on the map before, because sometimes projects have people working on it from different parts of the world. It's a little tricky. I guess you could put a spot for each person. Anyways, good request. Maybe we will have one. So no map as of yet, but check that website. And there will definitely be a map of the sites. There will maybe be a map of the projects. Yeah. We will try for one. Cool. So yeah, that was not very long, but you have a pretty packed schedule. So let me know if you have any more questions. You can put them in the Etherpad, and I will answer them asynchronously.
Thank you very much, Abby. Is there any quick question in the room? No?
This sprint is super fun. Oh, and if you host a site, we'll send you stickers.
Always the swag thing that motivates people. Stickers around. Okay, thank you very much, Abby. On the next one, we have the amazing other lady who is sitting next to Abby. There is Lucy, and she's gonna talk about Slack and Mozilla Slack.
Awesome. Let me finish my fight with video to share my screen. Awesome. I put this slide deck together really recently, so it's really ugly. I apologize now. All right. Cool. So some of you may have heard about Mozilla Slack. So I wanted to put together like a quick guide to what is this Slack thing, what's it all about, how can you be a part of it, who's it for, etc. So Mozilla Slack is a place where Mozilla's staff primarily are collaborating on Mozilla projects. So it's a tool that was introduced probably almost 6 months ago as a way for staff to talk to each other in a central place. But as you look around the project, there are still lots and lots of staff teams that are using other channels, including IRC, and I put some examples, Rust, Elton, add-ons, still does a lot of their communication on IRC, as well as Telegram. But it's good to know that all Mozilla staff by default are on Slack. So you might be wondering, hey, sometimes I need to talk to staff. Does it make sense for me to request access to Slack? So there's now a process in place for contributors who want to need access to Mozilla's Slack channel to request access. A couple things to consider as you're getting ready to request access is, do you have an ongoing need to talk to a staff member or a staff team in a synchronous way? If the answer is yes, you do lots of work with teams and individuals, sounds good. You must have an NDA. Once you're on Mozilla Slack, all of the open channels you have access to, so everyone needs to sign a non-disclosure agreement. As a rep, you all have NDAs, it's not a problem. And then you need a staff sponsor who says, yes, this person needs access to Slack to be able to contribute effectively. In this case, you'd be looking at Ruben or Costandina. I'll mention a couple things just about Slack that we put together in an etiquette guide that by default you'll be asked to sign. But the Mozilla Slack is very much a workplace, so staff are not using it for social communication. It's very much like a Mozilla Office, so you've got 3 kinds of channels. If you're in Slack in your life, you're probably familiar with these. There's project channels, so like Firefox. There are team channels where teams are working together for open innovation, for example, and then private channels where you can have one-to-one communications. Before you'll be able to access Slack, you'll have to be invited to the Slack group, and you'll have to sign the community participation guidelines, which I'm sure you're all very familiar with inside and out. Obviously, if you get on Slack and violate the CPG, just like if you go anywhere in the Mozilla community and violate the CPG, you may lose access temporarily or permanently. There's also an etiquette guide because it's definitely a microcosm of the staff ecosystem. We put together some like how to get started on Slack, be effective. There's a couple quick notos that everyone will know if you got Slack in your life. Going on the announcements channel and posting an @here will ping all 2,000 people on the announcements channel. So if you're just sharing a picture of your cat, not best practices. If you've got a really important announcement for 2,000 people, jump into it. So there's a bunch of things like that. They're all available in the etiquette guide, which you'll sign before you can jump into Slack. That was pretty much it. If you're looking for more information about what are all the ways that you can get on Slack, what do you have to agree to be on Slack, so like you want to read through the etiquette guide, those are all available on the wiki. I will pause there and jump into the Etherpad to see if there are questions. Does anyone want to verbalize a question while I'm Etherpad hunting?
I slapped it to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Are there any questions for Lucy? Or I can speak a little bit about how you can request access as reps. No? Okay. I don't know, Lucy, have you mentioned it for the people that were already on Slack before we changed the policy, that they don't need to do anything, they don't need to go through any new form?
Oh yeah, good point. So initially when we launched this, an NDA was all that was required. So anyone who had an NDA could create a Slack account. If you did that, you created a Slack account, you're already on Slack, that's it. You don't need anything else to do anything else. We looked at, in the end, the volume of the number of people who had NDAs and all the various reasons that people were NDA'd, which was very, very many different reasons. And it made sense to have an extra step so that people had to say, like, I actually need to be here before they could be on Slack, and also to provide an opportunity to do onboarding around like the etiquette guidelines and the CPG. So we introduced a second step. So if you have an NDA, you're a rep, but you have not yet created a Slack account, you now need to use this form and this process that Constantine is going to talk a little bit about. Okay. If you're already in Slack, you're on Slack.
So for those of you reps that have, well, all of you have NDA, but you're not yet on Slack, we decided with Ruben and the council that it didn't make sense to just give Slack access to everyone, but we created a very lightweight form for people that give us reasons why they need to use Slack. So there are two easy questions in there, like which are the teams that you're interacting with that you want Slack access. So for example, if you say, like, I'm really working with the Rust team, this is really good, but Rust team is not on Slack. The whole work on that Rust team is doing this on IRC, so Slack is probably not the best option for you to find the Rust team. The same goes for web extensions, for example. But maybe some Firefox folks that you're working with are on Slack and you want to interact with them. The second question is, also Lucy mentioned, is how is accessing Slack is going to help me with my contributions as a rep, and you can say like why you need Slack in your daily life and why you need synchronous communication with staff. So you can fill out this form. Every week we're going to go through this form and read the replies, and you will get the reply either if you haven't accepted or if you haven't been accepted, what is the reason and what are the proposals for your work to help you enable to do your work. We have already 4 people that have replied, which is pretty good. And if you want access in Slack, just fill the form and we'll get back to you in a week. Any questions? No? Okay. Well, I'll give the floor to Signor Daniele. I'm not going to do my fake Italian funny accent today. I'm just going to give the floor to Daniele, and he's going to talk about the council updates.
Hi, everybody. This week was a busy week. As you know, we are working on different things and focused on the OKRs of the Q1. You can find a document in the Etherpad to keep updated about what we are doing as council. it is very important that you check what we are doing because we are working for you. There is also a different thread on Discourse that you get to follow the reps category if you're not doing on Discourse. There is a post that they made about my OKR for the reps council about onboarding. You know, we have onboarded a new team. Actually, we have running a new screening round of only one application this time. And we have also a thread about Michael Kohler, about the questions that candidates can have to reply for the election that will be soon. So it's important to have feedbacks about that. You can check the link and help us to have the better question for the candidate for the next election. As we said before, there is also the new review team members, that they are important part of the REPS program. So I suggest to check who they are. And there is also a Discord thread for them. And there is the Mozilla Slack stats, but they already talked about that. And personally, I think that it's very helpful to be there because you can reach the people that you need, the team, etc. So you are very involved in something. It's very helpful to be on Mozilla Slack. So check it out. Don't forget that we are on Discord so for the council. We are also Telegram. So for any question, we are here.
Thank you very much, Daniele. Any questions for Daniele? Okay. With that, I'm gonna pass the floor to Faraway Asia, and Irvin wants to talk about what IP community is doing.
Yep. We host a special meetup this Tuesday night. The topic is let's talk about Mozilla, and we don't have predefined topics. We just ask community people to come in and bring their questions, and we discussions together. And there are 25 participants, including previous staff, students, and long-time contributors, new contributors. So I think it's a very a good mix of the Mozillians. And we find that people are very care about many questions that maybe we cannot answer in very fast. And overall, people feel more unoriented participation currently in Mozilla, especially after Firefox OS periods, that there are like less information, there are more silent status, and there are more unoriented feelings that that if there are new contributors coming, and it's very hard for us to like show them what to do or what to contribute. And we have a brief meeting notes in Chinese links there, and if you are interested in what we actually talk about, then you can check it. And I hope that I feel that this kind of discussion is very interesting, and maybe everybody can like doing the same things in different local communities, and to see that if there's the same feelings across the Mozilla contributors everywhere, or it's like just different, like we have more questions in East Asia, not. That's all.
Thank you very much, Irene. That's amazing. Keep going the good work. Okay, I see somebody is asking on the group chat about talking about Mozilla India, Delhi.
Ooh.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
Hey, my name is Sam. So recently we're working on having activate campaigns in and around Delhi. Recently we traveled like 150 kilometers away to Aligarh Muslim University. We had an add-ons session there. So particularly we were very impressed. There were like we expected around 100 students would be there. Although there were around 87 of them. We created a lot of buzz around the social media. We were able to have more than 10,000 impressions. And the best part is like most of them actually participated well in the activity and developed their own extensions, and they have published that on GitHub. So we actually prepared a whole report on that particular thing, which I wanted to share with you all. Next up, we are since it's International Women's Day today. So first of all, I wish all the women here who are doing great job. Like on Saturday, we are having a meetup on International Women's Day. We have already confirmed around more than 150 women joining there. Uh, so we are promoting women in tech, and basically we are having three talks there, led by all led by women working in various fields, and we just wanted to share it. Let me just grab on the link so I can share it with you all. Uh, this one is for the report on the add-ons development we did. The students are still doing the second part of the web extension activity. And this is the link for the mega meetup we are planning. Uh, so still need details. I'll add that in the Discord thread as well in a few minutes. We have finalized everything. It's in Adobe's office. And yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to share with the community at large. Let me know if you have any inputs on it, and if we can make it better in any case.
Hey, Sonia, great work. First of all, could you add the links in the Etherpad so people who are watching on Nermo and who will watch it later can actually see the links that you have posted?
Sure, I'll do that.
Because here on the group chat, not all the people have access to it. It's only for the video room. Cool. I don't see any non-verbal updates. I see two new shout-outs. The one is for Lucy Nabi for joining us and share more info for reps. Thank you very much, Toronto. You can join us whenever you want. And the second one is a most love to the Taipei community for all their contribution and activities. Thank you, Taipei. Keep on rocking, keep on coming and give us updates. Okie dokie. With that, I'm gonna close the call. Thank you all for being here. Have a nice rest of your day, whichever part of the world you are, and keep rocking the free web. Bye.